Hi, I don't have much time to create this intro for you today, so we're going to get right into the transmission. This is a full participant session that has so much value and so much in it for you to expand with. I am eternally grateful to the participant for allowing me to share it in this now, and we had such an amazing time in this particular session. I hope you enjoy. Good now, too. We are pleased to be meeting with you in this fashion and are eager to discuss with you anything you so choose to know more of yourself. Hello.
Hi, Vagrein. How are you?
Always well, thank you.
Oh, they're good. So, Vagrein, I've been hanging out to talk to you for a little while, but I've had to work myself up to it. As I was saying to Jessie. Um, okay, one thing I really need help with at the moment is I've been on this path of I haven't had to work since 2015, and the last 7 8 years I've just yesterday switched over to investing in myself, in my spiritual growth and personal development, and just becoming more of who I truly am. And it was just yesterday I was able to see that way, because all I've been doing the last 7 years, or actually 8 9 years, is just looking at my bank account details. I've purely been living off my savings, and so a lot of my journey has been like to trust and to allow in the abundance that's already mine. And I finally got to that point, and then I had a session with the Arcturians, and they said, "Oh, we've been talking. We've been talking to you at night." Well, I said, "Oh, I've been busy talking to you at night. So what have I been busy talking to you about?" And they said, "Well, one of the things you've been talking to us about is about making money." And I was so surprised, because I'm like, well, I kind of let go of that idea of having to make money, because I spent my entire life making money. I was sort of a girl that's always brought up to work, work, work. And that was my first response. Was, if I'm freaking out about money, the first thing is I'll go back to engineering. And I finally got to a space where I was like, you know what, just allow it in, because there's so much abundance. I put out so much money out there that it has to come back to me in some way. Just enjoy myself. And what I'm really loving is to travel at the moment. I've always loved traveling, right? But then that freaked me out. And then, because I said, well, what I really love is helping other people, in that, like, I naturally, which I've started to learn, realize is my gift, is I'm really supportive of other people. That comes naturally to me. And I had the idea, which the Arcturians gave me, is like, set up a website, and I actually looked up empathic listeners, and there's actually lots of jobs, people doing that job. I thought, wowzers. And but anyway, I'm freaking out about two things. I'm freaking out about having to start my own spiritual business, and I have no idea where to start. But at the same time, I'm also like, well, not conflict, but I'm like, well, does that mean my abundance that I'm allowing is solely dependent upon this spiritual business I have to do? Because I hate that, because right now I'm freaking out about having to start this spiritual business ASAP, because that's the only way I'm going to actually receive more money, when all along my journey has been, you know what, abundance can come from all sorts of areas. So I'm like freaking out about having to start my spiritual business at the time. So like all the work all the work or investment I've been putting in myself to allow in the abundance, it's like they kind of contradict each other. Anyway, Vagrant, I would really love your perspective and your help with this.
Yes, so you have gotten yourself twisted up quite a bit in the thread of what you are trying to sew. Let us help
Yeah,
you to untie the knots. First of
please.
all, you have said several times that you are freaking out. That energy is valuable to you because it is pointing to you some spaces where you are choosing to, you have not yet, but you are choosing to or considering adopting beliefs that will not ultimately serve you. It is
Mm-hmm.
correct that you have been investing in yourself in this time period and that you have been living off of, quote, your savings. But it is also true that everything that you have learned in this period about manifestation and abundance is accurate to you. Your previous chapter, in which you were work, and you did manage to accumulate this nest egg, so to speak, to allow you to have this secondary chapter where you are not physically working for your survival, is something that was a slight distortion. And that is why eventually you did get to the amount where you did feel comfortable to be able to say, you know what, I am not going to work, and instead I'm going to attract abundance to myself. So that was your second chapter, so to speak. You are now, as every pendulum does, swinging in a new direction. If the energy was work, 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 and then the energy becomes receive, 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 now you are coming to a new chapter. The discussion that you have been having, yes, with your counterparts. And we will also go back to something that you said earlier in this session, which was that you had to coax yourself or prepare yourself for this conversation. We would like to interject that you are never, in no moment in any given bit of time, not having a conversation with what can be perceived of as our energy. So this conversation is simply a continuation of the conversation that you already had, that you are wanting to bring into the more conscious levels. So, in other words, that conversation that you are having with the Arcturians, that conversation that you are having with other spiritual practitioners who are able to translate some of the energy, is a conversation that is everlasting, ongoing, forever with you. And we will help you now to, in your conscious human mind, understand what the next part of this conversation is. You are now wanting to find that balance between what you perceive of as work and receiving. It is not a contradiction, and that is why we are saying that you are getting the thread a little tied up on itself. It is instead the natural nature of things, because the word work and the associations that you yourself have with it that are of a negative connotation are ready to be let go of. You can very easily not think about starting your spiritual business being from the word busyness and having all of that energy of must and need to and have to and survival, and instead understand that what you are desiring, what is being desired through you in this now moment, is not so much that you are accumulating wealth or security in this case, but that you are accumulating exchange, holistic and reciprocal exchange for the gifts that you are wanting to bring into this existence. Reframing your next endeavor with that level of excitement, knowing that you are not doing any of this because you need to, but all of it because you want to, and it is what is the natural next step for you. You have learned what work can provide, and yes, it can provide some monetary propping up, so to speak, of your human life. You have also learned what receiving can provide, and there is an ease and a beauty and a flow to that. Now what you are wanting to do is become the wizard, the amalgamator of these two energies, so as you are receiving and giving in equal portions and living what for you will feel like complete fulfillment. Does that help with some part?
Yes, it does, because I do like the last several years has been I've been in that transformative of healing phase of just my previous relationship, and then that took a few years, and I think like I'm to where like I'm at peace with that all of it now, and there is a part of me that I've always known that there is more, and I've always knew that I want to be service to humanity for sure, but I do feel a little overwhelmed because I wouldn't know where to, so I do kind of know where to start, but I would really love to help people around me. Like, I've been away from the technology world for a while. So it's just like this website, so all these things, it's just like, oh my God. And I don't know, like if I go to sleep because it's just too much. Like this year I spent a lot of time sleeping, and I don't know if that's because I don't want to face up to what's not happening in my life, or I'm actually physically exhausted as well. So like today I spent the whole day in bed. Had intention to go out, but every time I thought I'd go out, I kind of went back to sleep. Anyway, can you make some comment on that?
Yes. It will depend on what your energy is when you are in your bed or in that rest phase. If it feels holistic to you, if it feels nurturing, forget what you think about it. But if the feeling state is, I am in the perfect place, if that is how your body is feeling, and that is how your heart is feeling, and that is how your mind is feeling, then it is regenerative, it is nurturing. If it is escape, you will have much thought or anxiety about the external world. We do not feel that that is the case in your energy. You are building up to something. That energy requirement is building up to something. You are allowing. Every time you sleep, you do not have resistance to what it is you are trying or attempting to allow through. Now, we are not saying that you will spend the rest of forever having sleep of every day. But when you you do become inspired, you will have no need for this level of energy. For example, the exhaustion is not coming from you being inspired and having wonderful things to do and running out of energy. The inspiration is not there. Therefore, the energy is not there for you to do anything in this now moment. This is a chapter as you are integrating. You do want to be in service to others. You do have things that you are excited about. We will address the, oh my God, about the building the website. First of all, your God is on your side. God, you know, you used it as a phrase, a turn of phrase, but the universe, the source is on your side. As soon as you actually stop thinking that it is all on you, that it is you who has to figure out the website, that is you who has to suffer and toil to create it and bring it into existence, and allow yourself to collaborate with source, allow yourself with everything that exists already in your reality that makes, for example, the creation of a website easier than it would have been at the beginning of the fledgling moments of the internet. Then you will allow yourself to go, you know what, I'm going to sit down and see what happens when I simply allow energy through me of website creation. You will find you will get far further, for example, in 1 hour of sitting at your computer and allowing than you would in 10 hours of sitting at your computer and trying, believing it is on you. Simply allow the website to be created through you if that is the case. The inspiration might be that you hire someone. The inspiration might be that you click on a link to the correct site where you only have to input 4 words and suddenly your website appears in front of you. That is also available in the technology in this now moment. You can find a application, a artificial intelligence that you say, I want a website talking about how I am now an empath. And you click the go button. 5 seconds later, you have a beautiful website that is presented to you. Of course, you might want to change the colors at that point. You might want to change the words at that point, but you will have a start. So yes, you do know where to start from. Start from the beginning and do not worry about how long that journey is. In the same way, if you were hiking to a pyramid in the middle of a forest, you would know that there might be some days of hiking in front of you, but that your goal or your ultimate arrival is something that you desire, and so it is okay to have to hack through some forest. It is okay to have to encounter some spiders. It is okay to have stumbled over a rock or get a blister here and there. You will be fine. It is part of the adventure.
Thank you. I guess, yeah, that's what I've done because I've put a lot of pressure on myself to have to do it all now. And what I've been doing is just kind of, I've been looking at like websites, like, I started doing my research and I've started looking at other people's websites to see what's out there, and I have an idea of how much, so I'm starting to formulate ideas. So it's not like I'm shunning from it. I just like, putting my head under covers and just watching Netflix, even though I,
Yes.
I can, like, can watch my romance movies, but I'm not like, and thank you for the affirmation, confirmation that, yeah, when I go to sleep, it's actually quite meditative, and I feel like I'm things are formulating in my sleep, and that I'm processing things through that sleep, and that's why I'm kind of exhausted, because when I get out of that phase of cocooning, all of a sudden I'm into action mode. A lot does happen through the inaction of me just sleeping, and I guess there's like, because of just all of a sudden this ideas come into my awareness, I'm like, thinking I've got to do it all now. I've got to do it all now. Otherwise, I'm going to run out of money next year. When that's, it feels so much better for me to say like the inspiration will come, or like I'm always like, when the time is right, the right people, the right resources show up for me, and that's how I would like it to be, rather than, oh my God, I've got to figure this all out by myself, and where do I even begin, type thing.
Yes. You're also your discomfort, if and should the case be that money runs out, will be a motivating factor. You do not need to fear a lack of abundance, because even in a lack of money, there is an abundance of motivation. So you cannot ever be in a lack of abundance. Now, we do know that there is a preference for humans to arrive at their lessons or their motivation before that occurs. But if that were to occur, it says nothing about you. It says nothing about what was meant to be and you made a mistake. It simply says that that was the fastest route for you to get to wherever it is that you are wanting to go next. So having any fear or anxiety about that occurring does not actually prevent its occurrence. It blocks you from having that anticipatory motivation towards going in the direction that you are wanting to go in. you are only adding resistance to your experience, which is a relenting of the experience. In other words, you go slower when you have this sort of fear or anxiety or pressure upon yourself. It is okay that the pressure is there. It is not necessary that it is cleared. It is, in some ways, something that is egging you on. But it is also not necessary to cave or believe in that pressure in any way and make any compromise towards your desires, dreams, goals, while that pressure is there. You can look at it and say, hello, pressure, I see you. Yes, I know the bank account is getting low. That is not a problem. I have complete faith in myself, faith in the universe, and exactly what you said to us, that things will align up in the exact right moment. And I have so much faith that I can also afford patience. I can afford to go on this trip because perhaps that is where I will meet my next investor. I can afford everything that I am being called to, whether that bank account reflects it or not. Because we do know, and you do know, that when that bank account is at zero, you will still find a way to eat. You will still find a way to get a roof over your head. You are more than capable, and you have been this human for some time now. So none of that will cease to occur. It will simply make the circumstances different and perhaps even more interesting for you to then figure out where the next step is to be laid.
Thank you for that, because that was my thing too. Because you're right, because I've been so called at the moment to like, I don't know how it occurred, but I'm so called into like ozone therapy and just really like nurturing my physical body right now. Like I've been doing, when I was in my trip recently in the Sunshine Coast, I happened to come across I was like detoxification came right into my, came to my thoughts. And I was like, I felt that I have to get some detoxification. And so I've been getting with lymphatic drainages, and I've been doing ozone therapy and also ozone infusion. And at the moment, that's what I really feel like just being called to do, and that like costs money. And also I'm like looking at travel as well, and that's what excites me. And I'm like, oh, I can't do this now, because until I start earning money again, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And it's like, yeah, and that really made me not feel very good about myself at all, about my situation.
And all of that
Yeah.
energy is not helping you. Feeling bad about yourself is of no help to anyone whatsoever. It is not a good strategy for that earning of money. It is not a good strategy for that organizing or listening to your inner being more fully. So you are safe to let that go. It is not necessary to feel bad about yourself. You are not even yourself. Would you feel bad about a cat, for example, for sleeping in the sunshine? Would you feel bad about someone who had a medical problem that required them to spend a lot of money on their bodies? No. So if this is what is being called through you, it is well for you to feel like it is the correct thing, because we assure you, you have no need to fear. Your discomfort, ultimately, if discomfort is to arise, will help to guide you for your better choices, or not better, but different choices in the future. We do not expect you will rob a bank to facilitate more ozone therapy.
Oh, vagrant. I mean, like one of my manifestation desire was just to like, oh, I would just love a whole bunch of digits disappear into my bank account. Like I know that is possible, but somehow like when this thing about me having to work and earn money again is like, that doesn't seem like it's a likely outcome for me.
Well, it
Even though
feels
it's like,
very
why not?
uncomfortable for you because you have been sharing throughout this session different keys as to why you are using mixed vibration. You did clearly just say now that you would love it if some zeros would appear or digits would appear in your account spontaneously without any efforting. But you also did say earlier in this session that the only way for you to have money is to work. Can you see how these two are polar opposite to each other? You are saying, I would like a miracle that requires me to not work whatsoever in any way, and yet I have no belief that that is possible.
Yes, I do see that it's very contradictory. And that was, yeah, and that was what threw me off, because when I was merrily like I got in that place, I was like, no, I just allow it all in. And then the Arcturians said, well, you've been talking to us at night about earning money. I said, why on earth would I be talking to you Arcturians about earning money, when this whole time I finally come to a place where I'm like, yeah, I don't ever have to work ever again. And now you're telling me I'm talking in my sleep about having to earn money or desiring to earn money.
So there is another element in here in your energy. Your desire to earn money is not related to your desire to be abundant in your case. There is an aspect of you, a deep desire to have what is perceived of as reciprocal arrangement. And so, because your collective does use money for that energy exchange in many different ways, and you yourself have pleasure in giving someone some money for the exchange of their services, you have the wonderful things in your life because you have money to exchange for your services. And you would not feel correct if you were, for example, receiving certain services without paying for them, someone's time or someone's energy or someone's gift or someone's effort. You would not want someone to make you a beautiful painting and simply give it to you and then have to go off and make more beautiful paintings and slave away all day long giving away things for free. You do like the sensation of paying for the things that you like, that you enjoy.
I do.
Feeling that wealth in the exchange of energy. You also have an aspect of you that does want to feel the other side of that exchange. You want to know that the things that you are offering to others are valuable to them, and you want them to have the opportunity to celebrate that with that exchange. It does not necessarily relate to whether or not you feel you need to survive. Money is one of those interesting topics that have very many belief systems attached to them. Some people think money believes freedom. Some people think money is security. Some people think money is survival. Some people think money is worthiness and how good they have done at their job or in their existence. Some people think that it is the root of all evil and that one cannot be a good person without having the ability to be generous or to not earn at all in the first place, even better. Your particular energy around money is, yes, and has been the first, I would like to know that I am worthy of existing without having any money or without needing to have money. And you have proved that to yourself because you have learned about manifestation and feeling comfortable in the not earning. This level of wanting to earn now is not related to that first level. You are on chapter 2 of your money journey. And in this particular level, what you are wanting is to give to others the beautiful opportunity that they know, and you have used this term in this session several times, that they know that by interacting with you, they are investing in themselves. And that is why you are wanting to earn money. It is simply a symbol at that point. So you can also take this particular aspect of the equation and put it aside just for the moment. This is why the threads are getting tangled. And then look at the other aspect of the equation, of the belief that money is simply coming to you simply because of who you are. You can simultaneously be earning money, whatever amount that is, from the people that you are working with, and have a windfall of a surprise lottery win. You can also find a colleague or a partner or a benefactor that decides that they simply have tons of pleasure by giving you a large sum of money. You can have a coincidental situation occur where suddenly someone owes you a large sum of money. Many things can occur for you to have all those digits on your account. But if you are holding any aspect of yourself back, you will have that result less easily or less readily, because there is that other aspect of saying, you know what, even if I have millions and billions of dollars, I still want to be in service to others. I still want this energetic exchange. No, I do not need the $100, $200, $300 that this person gives me for what I'm providing. I do not need it at all. But I understand that there's a blessing in the exchange of these amounts, both for myself. Yes, okay, so now I can get another exquisite dinner, or now I can get another whatever it is, because that amount is not important to you. But you also have given that person the opportunity of really valuing the gifts that you have given them.
Yeah. Thank you, Megan. That's exactly like how I feel about like the whole, which is called the second chapter of my banner. You read my energy so well, because that's how I feel. Like I want to be of service to him, and I do want to like feel like I've gone a place where I realize I actually have value. I am valuable. I have gifts to share, and I never really knew that or actually gave myself any value or credit before, and that took me, and it's only taken my journey to arrive here where I realized I have gifts to offer other people. And you're right, because I want to be compelled, where like Jessie has said, or Bashar, all these like wonderful channelers and people who are really of service, like they could not offer their gift. It was it was just an inner drive that drives them. They had to share whatever they had inside of them, and that's the place I want to be able to come from. And it's like, and receive an exchange for, not because I need the money, but because it's just a fair exchange of value, because I value myself, and that's their way. And I love spending. I love sharing my money. I love spending money. I love supporting other people, and I would love to feel that reciprocation. Not because I need it, like you say, but because it's just for the other person to be able to yeah, like just exactly as you say. And that's the place I would like to be able to share my gift, where I feel that compulsion, and that feels better for me. It's like I feel like I have a gift to offer this world, and by withholding that gift, I'm withholding it from humanity. That's the place I would like to share my gift and receive monetary exchange, or whatever, some form of exchange for it. And at the same time, still allowing the abundance that's already here for me, that I already know, because I have outflowed so much money, help other people. Like you say, owed money. There are people that owe me, well, that I lent money to, that hasn't returned it to me at all. So, there are places where that money's got to come back to me somehow. Yeah. So, would you like to say something, Vagrein?
No, we are in agreement with everything that you shared in this now. We believe that those aspects are clearing themselves. You will find yourself in much state of relief, and also any blockage that was preventing aligned action from you will now be released somewhat, so that you can begin to feel that energy that is flowing through you to you for this particular endeavor, the creating of your website or your what you called business activity, joy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ideally, what I would love, that would be so easy, would be like, I spend a lot of time at cafes and I connect with people, and, you know, I know people will say to me, like, I feel so much better having spoken to you, or your presence is just uplifting for us. And I would just love to just be there. And someone says, you know what, I would love to pay you to just, like as a confirmation in the universe, yes, what you have to offer is people are wanting it, because I don't have that. No one's saying to me, well, oh, Jacinta, we would love to spend more time with you. I would love to pay you to do, to spend more time with you. And the other side of the coin could be, well, perhaps you put out a website to tell other people that this is what you offer. Then the universe will show people to you. But then there's also, I was there and I was talking to somebody, just offering my gift as it is, and he's feeling wonderful in my presence. And I want to spend more time with you. Want to, show me the way. Is there, like, that would be a wonderful, way of sort of starting me on my journey. Say, hey, this is a gift you have, and people do want it.
So for this,
yeah,
it has only not occurred until now, because it is in this now moment that you are clearing the energy that makes you believe that doing an exchange would be work and endeavor, and you also do not want to work. So we are
no,
not saying you have to work, but you are clearing this in this now. So this is a past energy that you are discussing with us that nobody wants to come to you. You can very simply, in this now, because you are clearing this energy, choose that that will no longer be your experience, and that your new experience is that someone will indeed say, you know what, I really feel like you have been a great support, or are going to be a great support to my existence, to my faith. Do you do any coaching? Do you do any of your work
yes,
on its own? And you will
yes,
say, of course I do. This is what I do. This is who I am. You will have to first, however, get past the doubts that you might have had that question surprised you. And we will also say to you that it is not entirely true that people have not approached you in the past. It is that in the past, when they have approached you, maybe not directly with, we would like to pay you for your services, but that sort of compliment, you have shunned it off based upon your fear of this becoming a quote work and taking away the magic that you have cultivated for yourself, that abundance flows for you freely. Now that you are clearing this in this now moment, you will have new experiences. And when that energy does come to you asking for that exchange, perhaps not yet in terms of a number specifically, but someone has curiosity about what you do and wants to know more about what you do and are
Yes.
talking to you about what you do, you now begin to speak confidently about the fact that you can transform their lives, that what you have is valuable, and that you could, in
Mm,
theory, set up something with them so that that exchange would be fair. Maybe you tell them at first, you know what, I don't charge my services yet, but unfortunately I do have to charge for my time because I have a limited amount of time in a day. So what would feel good to you for us to meet for an hour? Maybe that is the first way you have a conversation on that term. But the point
mm,
is that you have only been in this now moment to a space of untangling it enough to begin to experiment with it for yourself. So do not
mm,
continue to linger upon what has not occurred yet or what has occurred in the past. Those are absolutely insignificant moving forward. The other thing we would
mm,
say, and we are going to say, is that you
mm,
at times, when you were speaking of your dream just now, when you were speaking of that imagined beauty of the circumstance being so easeful, you were speaking in the conditional tense. You were
mhm,
saying, it would be so wonderful if this were to occur.
mm,
We would ask you to consider whether or not you are comfortable letting go of the conditional tense when you are talking or thinking about your dreams. In the letting go of the conditional tense, the sentence now becomes both energetically and verbally, it is so wonderful that this thing will occur. The step
mhm,
after that can be bringing that into the present tense so that it accelerates it into the arrival for you. It is so wonderful that this thing is occurring. And
mm,
as you continue to go further into the energetic manifestation through your both belief and thought and energy, eventually you can claim your future in this present moment by using the past tense. It is so wonderful that all of these people have come to me for my services. They have
mm,
already come. Energetically, you would not have the desire to be in service to others if there was not an army of beings waiting for you to step
mhm,
into your higher self, because this energy
mm,
is you. You are a inseparable aspect of the universal consciousness, and for every single being who has service to provide, there is someone who is calling desperately for that service to arrive to them. It is simply a question of lining with that call, getting the right numbers on your telephone, and picking up the
mm.
receiver.
Thank you, Vagrein. That's exactly it, actually, because I can see it now. And you're so right. It's only this now moment I've arrived at that because I had previously been asked, and I was like, I have no idea how to answer that question because people ask, like, how do you do it? How do you just stay in your joy? And I would be like, I have no idea how to explain to somebody. And it's only because of the conversation of the actors that started like formulating with me. Oh, and they helped prompted me with some ideas and gifts that I had within me. It's like, oh yes, I do know how. I have so much experience and wisdom that I, through my lived experience, to share with other people how I overcame certain things, and I know I can help transform lives now. And you're right. I've come to a point where like I value myself, whereas previously I didn't. Like my time was worthless unless I was producing something. It was absolutely worthless. Um, so now I am in a place where like someone came up to me like, yeah, I absolutely know that I can help you transform your life because it's been always my dream as from very little is to inspire others to live their greatest potential. I want for other people to be able to live the life they want for themselves. And I am so good at supporting that and helping others along the way. And I love what you said because that's it, like to know that it is so wonderful that I've helped all these people live their life to their fullest potential. And the monetary exchange is like that's secondary. The joy and the fulfillment is in the fact that I've helped thousands of people live the best life they possibly can.
We will speak here to a slight, and it is only slight, so do not take it as a criticism by any means,
Mm-hmm.
distortion in what you were sharing. There is still some fear that you claiming your gift, you claiming the fact that you are benefiting others, is arrogant in some way. We would like to let you know that it is safe for you to have the confidence that you have and that you are adopting and continuing to work towards believing fully in your now self. The reason also is because confidence is the togetherness with faith. That is
Mm.
actually the etymology of the word. You are with faith that you are not only yourself in your individuation, but that you are a divine being, and that whatever is coming through you for these other people is not yours to claim directly.
Mm.
It is not that you are so special or you are so wonderful, although of course you are, because you are a vessel for everything that is coming through you. The universe does see you as special and wonderful, but that you do not need to fear the understanding, the comprehension that you are special and wonderful, because ultimately the energy that is coming through you, again, is not even yours. It is yours in as much as it is the other person's request for that to come through you, or it is the universe's request for it to come through you. It is you
Yeah.
simply saying, yes, 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 I will play. I have faith. I am a part
Mm.
of this magical journey that does not center as me in the whole world, but that is us as a collective all together, and that I honor my individuation within.
Mhm. Yeah. Wait, can you just clarify for me? Did you say I have an energy of arrogance, or was that I lacked confidence in my ability to?
We were saying, and it is interesting that you did hear it in this way, that you have a fear of being arrogant.
Right.
And you
Okay.
need not fear that, because
Yeah.
arrogance is simply a distortion and a collective understanding of lack or of
Mm.
hierarchy. People do not like those necessarily who are confident, because they themselves are not. We are saying that you are allowed to and safe to let yourself fear not that your confidence is a form of arrogance. It is not. You
Right.
know very well that it is the universe
Yeah.
coming through you, and not any
Yeah.
specialness that you had. You
No.
do
Yeah.
know that you were born as you are. You simply are,
Mm.
coincidentally or by luck or by fortune or by destiny, the being that you are, and that the things that come through you are gifts. Yes, beautiful gifts that can
Mm.
be celebrated, but they are not actually yours, no more so than your
Mm.
body is yours outside of your physical existence.
Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you, Vagrant. Thank you so much. I like just when you share that with me, it's like I feel like you or I sense my purity of heart and purity of intention. And I see that it's been reflected back at me by what you shared with me just now.
Yes.
Um, Thank you. Vagrant, you know, I know this is like my first conversation with you, like consciously, but I've obviously, had plenty of conversations with you in other realms. But um, you seem to really do know me, like my energy. Would you like to share anything else that you read within my energy field that would be good for me to know? I really love it.
Yes. So every being has certain themes that do have more presence in their conscious awareness
Mm.
than others. And you, in this now, there has been this journey of self discovery, there has been this journey of understanding abundance deeply. We would like you
Mm.
to acknowledge and be aware of the other themes that are in your field, the other desires
Mm.
that you have that are not necessarily related in any way to reciprocation, to abundance, and instead to other aspects of joy that perhaps in your life you have not looked at in some time. You did say that you are wanting your body to be in great health and you are taking action towards that. But there are generally for human beings several themes that are universal that take less or more precedence in each individuation's perspective and pinhole view upon existence. In your case, there is a question of love and
Mm.
connection. That is a
Mm.
desire that's in you that you are in this moment deciding that perhaps it's best not to look at, or at least focus on, because yes, of course you are well regardless of this particular area being as it is in this now moment. So nothing is harming you by things being as they are, but at the same time there is some level of you not necessarily looking at arriving or allowing yourself to receive everything that you want in this part of your life. The universe is always, in all ways, collaborating not only for one aspect of your life. The universe is not, or isness is not collaborating only for you to have abundance and only for you to have reciprocation for your job, but also for you to have that exact relationship that you are wanting, to have those relationships that you are wanting, be it friendship, be it romantic, be it collaborations, be it interactions, be it being in the right place at the right time to have the right community around you. So there is some aspect of that that perhaps has been fine, but we know and you know that you deserve more than fine.
Mm. Yes. Yeah, that's funny you touched on that, because that was the next thing I was going to ask you about is like, yes, I had a relationship and that broke my heart out. Not really, but that's my entire life has been like very lonely. I've spent so much, and I have yearned and called for like connect. And you're right, like I have focused a lot on abundance, but at the same time, like my other desire that I have, and I've been like, which I have also had to just like come to peace with, is be able to be at peace with being enjoying my own company, embracing it, because my entire life has been very lonely. I have friends and they kind of disappear. I've rarely ever had many friends in my life, and my family like connection is like, it's just short talk. So that's something that I have been yearning for. Like I don't have a tribe around me. I don't have like supportive friends around me or people at all. And that's what the other part that like can sadden me. And so I had to really come to be at peace with. So how do I like, you said that that's something haven't put enough emphasis on perhaps, but like, what do I do regarding that? Because I don't know what to do there.
So the reason why you have not put emphasis on it, it's not that you had to and the circumstance would change, but it is something that is available to you in this now to do, is because even as you were speaking to us on a very light level on this topic, you did have emotion arise around this question. And it has been simpler for you to say, you know what, I'm not interested in dealing with this because actually I am fine. The truth of the matter is you are fine. You are not someone who needs relationship. You would not even have wanted to incarnate as someone who needs relationship. You do not. That does not mean you do not desire it. And that does not mean
No.
you do not have joy within it. And it does not mean you do not have playfulness in it and that it does not enrich your life. It does. Therefore, our advice or suggestion to you would be to allow yourself a little bit of time to feel into this topic and the feelings to come up. Because that sadness that you just had when you've said that your life has been quite lonely and that your family relationships are not quite strong or they are not like that, it's not because that is anything that is wrong. That is actually accurate and correct for you. It actually protects your energy to be able to be more in service. It protects your energy to be more in the version of you that you want to be. Some of those relationships were not healthy for you. Some of them were not relevant to you. And so you are now in this state of not having certain relationships in the correct place for you. But the sadness is pointing you towards you in some ways, thinking that it's not the correct place for you. Coming to peace with something does not mean compromising and giving up your desires. It simply means understanding that there's no need for that sadness in there, that you're not being around people in this now moment simultaneously does not mean that anything has gone wrong. And it does not mean that you have to be in this situation. You are the creator of your reality. As soon as you allow yourself to feel all of the feelings around that loneliness that you have experienced and realize that actually for you, loneliness means something very different than it does for the collective, you will end up with an abundance of freedom to then be able to create relationships as you choose to create them that have a duration that is either long or short, but that ultimately does not, quote, break your heart at the end of it, because you will be so engrossed in the relationship in the now moment, the enjoyment of the person, the enjoyment of your time spent together, the sharing, the collaboration. You will not be worried about the future or the past. And when that relationship naturally comes to its conclusion, as most relationships do, in fact, all do eventually with death, then you will simply be like, okay, I will move on to the next interesting, fun thing that I can do and share with a person in this now moment. Your experience of tribe or your experience of relationship or your experience of sociality is not the same as other people's, but it does mean you have the freedom to move in and out of the most useful, wonderful, beautiful, playful, exciting, and enjoyable relationships as you can without getting tied down to one group or without getting tied down to one situation for the eternity of all that is. People tend to block themselves off with their relationships and not have the expansion of moving fluidly in and out of social situations. For you, this is not the case. If you can allow yourself to let go of the pain that you are perceiving of related to relationship, you will have extremely wonderful interactions with beings, both romantic and friendships and collaborators, that will be very holistic in nature for you.
Okay, thank you. That's I'm glad you finished that. So that's all I need to do is let go of the pain that or the sadness that I feel around relationship to allow myself new new relations and abundance of relationship. Is that what you're saying,
Yes, that
Fagan?
is. And in letting go of that sadness, you will also be inspired to perhaps make new choices, be in new places, locations, new activities that will then bring you to those people who, like your service, are already waiting for you.
Thank you. Yeah, because like I've been going to cafes, but the people I meet are like people like in their 60s and 70s. They're all very retired, or I have very fleeting and that's why I go to cafes to talk to people and connect with people, but they're just very fleeting. It's just like for the moment, and then we move on. But nothing like conversations on the phone or like just people who I feel are there all the time that are my tribe.
This will change as you allow those tears to arise. So give yourself time every day in which to think about this topic and allow yourself to feel sad. It will pass and go through, and then you will not have this particular energy any longer. We do have time for one more question if there is.
Okay, so so basically like it has served me until now to like have a journey where like I had very little friends, and because that journey led me to going within so much more and finding my own inner connection. Is that why I may have why I had like created that kind of path for myself?
Yes, it is part of your energetic field. As we said, that your energy is preciously contained within yourself. A very solid knowing of your never being alone is part of your makeup and what you came into this world with. So, people with your configuration will often have that journey of seeming to be alone up until such point as that does not bother them. And then beyond that, celebrating in the invitation to relationships that do not interfere with your energetic field. So it was a learning process here too. And we do feel that, like with the other topic, you are in a pendulum swing back to something that is much more middle ground and holistic than the I would like to be part of community, I do not need to be part of community at all, to that beautiful space where you can have the best of both worlds.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Vagrant. It's been awesome.
We thank you so much. We hope that you are freaking out a little bit less in this now. Again, remember that that energy in and of itself is pointing you towards wonderful expansion. And with that, we leave you with the light and the love of 1,000 suns. Anai.
Thank you. Anai.
I hope you enjoyed that amazing Vagrein session. Thank you so much again to the participant for allowing me to share it with you in this now moment. I do hope that you'll send a like, a comment, and decide to subscribe to this channel for more Vagrein content coming up. It really helps the algorithm. It really helps the rest of the world to discover Vagrein's content. And of course, it lets me know that you like what I'm doing here, which is something that I, on a personal level, do enjoy hearing about. I encourage you guys also to go right ahead and watch another Vagrein video right now. I'm making a suggestion for you right here. And I really hope you let me know what you think about that video as well. I'm sending all my love, and I will see you again shortly. Bye-bye.